Cheers and salutations. Welcome, one and all, to Americans Learn. My name is Kit. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the ring bell notification. That way, all of you beautiful people are made aware when we upload new content upon you guessed it, YouTube channel. And today, we have ourselves a fun video to check out. It is titled none other The Art of War, Wisdom of Sun Tzu, Sabaton History, number 89. I know I've been going out of order. I am so sorry. But nonetheless, I am in a far better mood. This year's been a little rough on yours truly, already 3 weeks in, and it's not letting up. But nonetheless, it'd be putting a smile on my face if all of you hip cool cats, you guys and gals, would support the original content creators. The link is in the description box below. Check out all of our links, and be sure to support Americans Learn as we get our Learn On in 2024. But enough of me talking. Let's get our Learn On and check this video out in a 3, a 2, a 1. And yes, there will be a test after the video.
Great classics of world literature is Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
And we made a whole album about it. And this is the title track, The Art of War.
Alone and gaze up on the battlefield. Wasteland is all that's left after the fight. And now I'm searching a new way to defeat my enemy. Bloodshed, I've seen enough of death and pain.
Sun Tzu says, the art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence, it is a subject of inquiry which can on no account be neglected. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. Only a few written works have survived for so long and still remain relevant as the Chinese book Art of War has. It is one of the most influential military treatises ever devoted to strategy and tactics. Not much is known about its presumed author, Sun Tzu, also known as Sun Wu, Sun Tzu, or simply Master Sun, but we can say with a good amount of certainty that he did actually exist. Historians date the birth of the original Art of War to the Chinese kingdom of Wu during the reign of Holu between 515 and 496 BC. Sun Tzu, a native of the kingdom, rose to prominence as a military advisor. The legend goes that King Holu one day wanted Sun Tzu to prove the value of his teachings by demonstrating them on a group of his concubines. Without hesitation, Sun Tzu addressed the women like soldiers, and after a short training session, had the women march up and down the parade ground in perfect order. Impressed, the king made him commander of his armies. Under the guidance of Sun Tzu's leadership,
There's a little bit more to that story where it's supposed when it came down to one of the battle formations or holding the spears, one of the women kept on screwing up, not once but twice. Third time, apparently she got killed. I don't know if that's true or not. People politely discuss it in the comments section below. Yes, I know having polite comment section in this day and age on the interweb is near to impossible, but everybody be nice and respect each other's opinions. Am I wrong about that? Chances are, yeah, I probably am. Or either that, I'm not remembering the story correctly. So have at it, internet. Let's get an expert to type in the comment section below.
the armies of Wu invaded their neighbors and won their greatest victories. Another legend tells that Sun Tzu once defeated an army of 200,000 with just 30,000 men. But despite this success, the kingdom of Wu would perish soon after its short rise to power, vanquished by another treacherous neighbor. We can't say what happened to Sun Tzu afterwards, but we know of Sun Pin, a supposed descendant of Sun Tzu, who, 100 years later, defeated a rival army by following his ancestors' teachings. Sun Pin said that Sun Tzu was known to continue discussing military theory even after they cut off his feet. Whether this was meant to be taken literally or just metaphorically is unfortunately not known. Sun Tzu's treatise, later known as The Art of War, survived the destruction of Wu and the subsequent ages of strife and war. Over the coming centuries,
And China's been at war a lot. There's been a lot of fights with the feudal kingdoms, and of course the various occupying superpowers at the time, colonial powers, as well as China's own internal conflicts. It's quite incredible that we still have that work of art, the Art of War, still available. And yes, even I have that book in my collection, along with The Prince and the Discourses.
Centuries, it would fascinate generals and philosophers alike. Many military commanders during the Qin and Han dynasties referenced Sun Tzu's works or incorporated his teachings into their own writings. However, they were also extensively copied, transcribed, and sometimes even freely edited. Several editions existed at the same time, often attributed to different generals. That, of course, rings the alarm bells of every historian, especially with the widespread habit of forgery during certain time periods in China. But we also know that such handling of the original texts was often quickly recognized and severely punished. Many governments outright forbade the use of anything but the original edition. In accordance with the ancient Chinese understanding of warfare, war should be used as a weapon in itself to punish the cruelty and violence of others. War was to bring peace to troublesome times, to overcome difficulties and eradicate danger. This explains that while even alongside the fundamental pacifistic teachings of Confucianism, Sun Tzu's Art of War always had a solid place in Chinese culture. Peace and war are bound together, one unable to exist without knowledge of the other. Even in peacetime, it was seen as important to learn about the art of war. Sun Tzu says, in the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good. So
He's got a point there. You know, what's the point of destroying farmland, resources, ports, and cities when you have to rebuild it yourself? Plus, you know, unfortunately, throughout the long, sad history of humanity, from antiquity and up until now, those nations or barbarian hordes that would dedicate themselves to the destruction of cities or land or villages, all it did was just lay the foundations for the next war and the next conflict, which is something, unfortunately, humans are just too good at these days. And complete destruction is never the answer. But, well, what's going on right now in this day and age, I guess we have yet to learn that lesson. Perhaps someday we'll have peace. Just not today, but Sun Tzu once again being proven correct. You just don't have to blow up everything.
So too, it is better to recapture an army entire than to destroy it. To capture a regiment, a detachment, or a company entire than to destroy them. Hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. This passage might be the most essential principle of Sun Tzu's work, but is also the most challenging to our understanding of warfare today. How can one be victorious during war, which in Sun Tzu's time was waged with axes, spears, and chariots, without actually fighting?
I will run, they will hunt, me in vain I will hide, never searching. I will do, feign retreat, never soon coup de grace. I will win but never fight, that's the art of war.
For Sun Tzu, supreme generalship lies in winning battles before they were actually fought. The general who spoils his enemy's plans before they are set in motion, who keeps the enemy from gathering enough strength to act in the first place, who captures cities without laying siege, will be triumphant. Sun Tzu knew firsthand the many horrors war would inflict, and emphasized that ending wars as...
You know what? I just noticed in the background, but that is an awesome AK-47 right there. I just noticed that right there. But Sun Tzu's absolutely correct. You know, you don't have to have the horror of war, but as I said before, you know, humans, we're the world heavyweight champions of effing up all the time. I mean, at this point, you know, we're like, you know, limousine riding, war destroying, absolute destruction creatures. So it's nothing new. Does it say a lot about us as a species? Oh, absolutely, it does.
quickly as possible would only prevent further suffering of the people. A war of attrition like the First World War or the excessive bombing campaigns of the second would be quite the opposite of what he saw as supreme excellence. To achieve victory in war, the first principle any general has to follow is to only offer battle when he is sure of victory. Sun Tzu says, "The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself." Every commander has to be guided by the actions of his enemies. He can safeguard himself from defeat by having a strong defense, but victory can only be achieved by countering the actions of the other side. Therefore, it is of vital importance for the Supreme General to know what he can expect of his own troops, as well as what the enemy is capable of doing. Like a botanist looking at a growing flower clearly envisions it blossoming one day, the general has to see the battle unfold in his mind before it begins. If he knows everything there is to know about himself and the enemy, he cannot fail. Sun Tzu says, "Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. Therefore, the clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will."
Always be first. Always be ready. Always be energized. Always be prepared. Your enemy's training 10 times harder than you. And so that's why you must always be fit. You must always prepare. Always prepare.
To be imposed on him. The next step is to seize the moment and to strike like thunder before the enemy has a chance to shield his ears. By making haste, he forces his enemies to hurry in an attempt to counter his plans before they are ready. That makes them vulnerable to error. Then, like the firing of a crossbow, the general will be terrible and prompt in exploiting those mistakes. Sun Tzu says, "All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Hold our baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder and crush him. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected." As I said before, a wise general can make defeat impossible by his own preparedness, but victory relies on reacting to the enemy's moves. The wise general feigns weakness when he is actually strong, appears afraid when he's secretly confident. Then, when the enemy's lured into his trap, he falls upon him like the...
And this can apply to you in real life too. Look, I hate to tell this to you, but no matter what age you are, and young people, you're gonna have to learn this lesson too the hard way. You're always gonna run into people who don't like you. You're always gonna have enemies. I'm so sorry. And here's the thing. You will always be challenged by bullies. It's inevitable, and you'll see it in every single aspect of life. It's just not only in warfare, but in business, in education, in everything that we do. And the thing is, you have to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, in all aspects to defend yourself, present yourself in a certain way. What my mother would say, and yes, even my grandfather would say before he passed away, when you walk outside your house, you are representing you, your family, and your values. How you present yourself to others is how others will perceive your family and what they have taught you. When you go outside and you speak to people, you are the representation of the people that raised you. You are the representation of your values. And many a times, people will challenge your values and your perspectives and your points of view. And yes, you're going to run into people who you could disagree with politely or maybe challenge you in certain aspects. But yes, in those rare occasions, you'll run into people who will just not like you at all, period. Who will not engage in good dialogue or conversations on friendship or understanding. You'll run into people who will want to fight you and hurt you because they are jealous of you. And that's why I do read The Prince and the Discourses. That's why I do read The Art of War. I recommend those 2 books for all of you to read. It'll keep your heads on a swivel. Trust me on it. I know this.
The swoop of a falcon and delivers the fatal coup de grace. According to Sun Tzu, a successful commander is the bulwark of his nation. If he is strong, courageous, and morally pure, so too will be the state he serves. Sun Tzu presses home the point that all men are basically motivated by 2 things: living long and growing rich. And like any other man, a soldier does not part from such things easily if he has the choice. Therefore, a general has to keep a good eye on the well-being of his own men, not just those of the enemy. He should not overwork them, but conserve their strength for when it counts the most. A virtuous general keeps them provided with plenty of food and drink, but refrains from keeping them idle for too long, because idleness breeds trouble. Once the men understand what they can expect for following the general in terms of rewards and punishment, they will willingly listen and obey without questioning his decisions. We can observe his teachings reappearing in the actions of many generals all throughout history. Charles XII and Napoleon were victorious when they acted according to his principles, and they were defeated when they did not.
True.
The Art of War, as we know it today, consists of 13 chapters. Each highlights a different aspect of warfare, but only rarely resorts to concrete, time-specific references. Instead, its teachings are supposed to be based on practicality. Sun Tzu, fully aware that his writings were to be studied by military men and not scholars, refrained from bookish theory or abstract metaphors. Yet, despite their clarity, there is a certain underlying wisdom behind what is written. Even today, 2,500 years after its emergence, the Art of War holds much useful wisdom. If you replace the word general with boss or manager, you can still use and interpret many of his teachings in everyday life.
And trust me on it, I've used it in my life as well. It does help. Believe you me, it works.
Far from the bloodshed of the battlefield. After all, ancient Chinese societies, like those in the era of Wu, did not have professional military commanders as we know them today. Usually, those tasked to lead armies also served the kingdom as civilian statesmen. And in everyday life, it helps to be prepared, to be quick-witted, and to be well aware of the strengths and weaknesses of the competition. Remember, kids, business can be as cutthroat and treacherous as any battlefield of old. Enemies might not wear chainmail and carry axes anymore, but a business suit and a handshake might be just as dangerous to your health.
Or is that ruin you in more ways than one? Trust me on it. The man in the suit and tie and the handshake, if you don't know what you're doing, look out.
Perhaps it would be a good idea to study the art of war. Okay, the art of war, the chapter is talking about the different things, and of course this basically about fighting as little as you can in order to achieve victory, which a lot of generals in a lot of wars don't sort of do. They want to have like this big final battle.
Do they want to, really?
Yeah, there's plenty of people that want to put their men in the field. They want to, they want to
Put their
go
name
over
in the history books.
Yeah, and Sun Tzu would be like, how about the one where they march for a long time and then they run out of food and then we take them all prisoner?
Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I like it.
I enjoy. It's not so fun for the guys who have to march all the time and run out of food, but they don't die unless starvation.
No.
You know.
I mean, it's one of my favorite lines to sing on a concert as well.
Yeah.
When we play that song, I will win but never fight.
Yeah.
And then comes the choir, and that's the art of war.
And it's funny because that is the ultimate pacifist line. And when you think of great pacifists through history, you don't think of Sun Tzu.
No,
as
it's not
one
the
of
first
them.
name, at least. Like, on the list.
But how did you?
No, but it does make sense because here's the thing. You could destroy an army. You could destroy a legion, a regiment, battalion, all that kind of stuff. But all what you're going to do is, cause further hatred. For example, right? Those people in a legion or a battalion, regiment, whatever, they got friends and family members back home. And I think a lot of them would be pissed or want revenge when they find out that, their loved ones were massacred. And of course, we're looking at antiquity, and of course, it's a high honor to win a glorious battle. But, if your goal is not to have continuous forever wars, all right, let's have them march. Some of them will die of heat exhaustion or, starvation. We overwhelm them, we capture them, ransom them, they go home. Nobody dies, but we win. Seems reasonable. Plus, not to mention, if you treat your prisoners right, don't abuse them, don't treat them like slave labor. Some of them might want to, hey, I'm a mercenary. I'll work for you. I don't know. Type in your thoughts. What do you think? Because I think Sun Tzu is absolutely correct in this.
End up deciding to do this particular concept.
Actually, it evolved over time. This one was a lot on me, actually, because I just thought it would be a cool idea, and I didn't know. I read the book and I didn't know how to do it, but then we started coming up with the idea: how about we make every track corresponds to a chapter in the in the book.
Oh wait, and for those people at home, this is the Chinese word for chapter.
Ooh.
But it's true though, the way he organizes the book is brilliant, and it's nice that the album really follows the chapters. That's cool.
And I actually want to send a message here. You should read this book. I mean, it sounds intimidating. It sounds, like, oh, it's an old Chinese text. It's going to be huge. No, it's not. It's a quick read.
You can read it in like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. And there are very good translations, so you don't have to know ancient Chinese.
In fact, I know that the text of The Art of War is in the public domain. So in the description, there is a link to the text of The Art of War, so you can actually read it.
Hey!
Go to Project Gutenberg.
So there you go. See, this is why I say support the original content creator, because look, they put a lot of great stuff in their description box, and I encourage everyone, for all the videos that we do here at Americans Learn, please support the original content creator. That link is in the description box below. We do that for all the videos because you never know what they have in their description box. So do the right thing, you hip cool cats. It's 2024. Be ready to get your learn on. You can't say you don't learn anything here on Americans Learn. That's the truth of it.
And get it.
Or go to Project Gutenberg and get it.
Yeah.
For free. Great library for royalty-free or public domain.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to know.
I mean, guess Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain now as well.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
I didn't know that.
Is in the public domain, but what people thought was not in the public domain. The films that we used in the not the white was it in
Televisota.
Was it Televisota or was it the
White Death?
Yeah, it was Televisota. No, it was the
Televisota.
Winter War. It was, okay,
Yeah.
it was in the Televisota episode. I don't know if you guys remember that from January.
That's turned ugly.
We saw it. Okay, if you don't know what we're talking about, check out the Televisota episode later. It did turn ugly, but it wasn't our fault it turned ugly.
Yep.
And actually, you guys helped a lot for solving that. The enormous outpouring of support for us was pretty cool.
Yep. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
It helps.
seriously. Okay, but not thanks for
Shout out to the Sabaton community. Follow them on all their social media.
the death threats to the guy.
Not nice. Not nice.
Thanks for pointing out that this is bullshit. But,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, back to Sun Tzu and the Art of War.
Yes.
Okay. So you were sitting around one Wednesday night at like 10 o'clock, alone in your bed, strumming an acoustic guitar.
How did you know?
I know everything. I'm a historian.
Okay.
I know everything. I'm a historian. No, but you were sitting around, you were kind of sad because you were feeling a bit lonely and your parents didn't understand you. And you had just read The Art of War and you thought, wouldn't this be a concept album?
Yes.
That's pretty much how it
Pretty
was.
much how it is, actually. And here's where you heard it first. Sabaton history, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but okay, you came up with the idea. You pitched it to the guys. The guys said, "No, this sounds pretty good."
Yeah.
Stuff.
I mean, we were already doing songs about military history.
Right.
And we had done, in that topic, we had already done Prima Victoria and Atero Dominatus.
Yeah.
This is then the third military history.
I mean, you
album.
found your mojo, basically.
Yeah. But we didn't want to do just find more battles.
Yeah.
And somehow that felt like such an appealing idea to, like, you have these 13 chapters in the book. Let's have 13 tracks on the album where every song has a corresponding chapter. You can follow along the text. And we would use, in some cases, real battles where what Sun Tzu was writing about, where that would be relevant to that battle.
And even and talking about the modernization of stuff, like what flaming arrows were then.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that's dropping bombs now. Yeah. So yeah.
So that was really cool. But on some, in some places, we chose not to do real battles. I mean, obviously, 40-1 is from that album. I mean, real battle, the Battle of Isna. But for this one, we chose to do sort of a song about the chapter and the tactics used, or whatever you might want to call it.
Yeah.
Or actually lack of battles.
To
Win but never fight.
But that was Sun Tzu's thing. It's your goal is victory, but your other goal is to preserve as much of your strength as you can. Because if all your guys are dead, then the victory is meaningless.
Pretty much, yes.
I mean, it's a moral victory, I guess, something, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, now he was a pretty sharp cookie.
Yes, and as I said, read it.
The Art of War.
Precisely.
I love cookies. And in Hebrew.
Oh, there you go.
You gotta love Earth, man. Well, like, what direction do you guys write in?
Whatever.
We haven't.
Humans, hey, what direction you write in? Left to right, right to left, up to down, down is up. We do whatever we want. We even can make emojis. This is why aliens don't want to visit us, because they just don't have time to figure it out. And you know what? Hashtag humanity first. Wait till we get to the stars, folks. We're going to have a lot of fun. It'll be a good bonding moment for the species. And in the name of the Imperium, we will win.
Decided yet.
No,
Because, on Mars, they write in a different direction.
they do.
Yeah, they write like
top down.
this.
Ah, okay.
Like it's like an angle. So they don't
Really?
use paper.
Is it a straight one or is it a logarithmic thing,
It's a logarithmic thing. Hashtag it's a logarithmic thing.
Okay.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.
That's the art of war.
Hell yeah.
That's the art of war. Louder, Rocket, louder. That's the art of war. That's the art of war.
Glorious. Glorious.
All right, everyone, you know the drill. You click, 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 click. Get some subscriptions, check out Indy's other channels, become a Patreon. That's it. Get the fuck out of here.
That's right. But hold on. You know what the rules are. We get our learn on first, and then we get our fun on, as we should. So, enjoy this Sabaton history, The Art of War. I will not interrupt the music. Let's play it.
If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle.
Let's see some hands in the air! Hey! Hey!
are so much fun.
That's the art of war. Broken and lost, tired of war, they'll surrender to me. Can't take my trap, there's no way out. They'll never again, never again. That's the art of war. That's the art of war. That's the art of war. That's the art of war.
I love when we check out Sabaton history because we get our learn on, then we get our music on. So, first of all, great song, really engaging. So, guess what? You got not only the highlights from the end of the first video, but also you got the full song here. See, this is why you should like, comment, share, and subscribe to Americans Learn because in 2024, not only do we get our learn on, we get our fun on. You listen to some music, you hang out with our awesome community, you get to hit that ring bell notification when we upload new content so you can get your learn on. And also, we add in our commentary as well. But also, you get to find all these great YouTube channels that are dedicated to science, history, art, and helping us inform ourselves so we can become better, so we can become more knowledgeable, so that all of the knowledge can be shared amongst us all. And we could, dare I say it, maybe controversial statement in 3, 2, 1, maybe have peace in our time or getting close within our time. Maybe that would be great. So nonetheless, thank you all so much for joining us. The links to both these videos will be in the description box below. And folks, as a favor for me, please follow and support Sabaton History on all their social media. They're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the YouTubes, and they got a Patreon and all their other social media and backup channels too. So come on, do the right thing. Sabaton History has a treasure trove of content, a treasure trove of music videos, and so much more. And I encourage all of you to do the right thing and support them. Check them out. It's called being awesome. And I know you guys and gals are awesome. Why? Because I look at this community, I look at the comment section below, and every day I'm thoroughly impressed. Yes, we do read the comments. We do try to respond to all of them as best we could, as fast as we can. But nonetheless, you guys are awesome. So drink water, keep your heads on a swivel, read The Art of War. It will help you out. Read The Prince and the Discourses as well. I recommend that book. I have The Prince and Discourses in one book. That's why I call it that. But check them both out. It'll improve your life. It'll give you knowledge necessary to face off against your foes. And it'll give you one step ahead so that you can got it, get it, and have it. So you could duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge again. Take care. And if you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge an arrow. Simple as that.